course, Prime Minister Modi and President of Brazil, Lula da Silva. We just heard what he said, the way he is hopeful from India, and also, of course, the discussion happened covering multiple sectors, including defense, science and technology, information technology, and also, of course, pharmaceutical. And the most important bit, which Lula da Silva, the president of Brazil, has said that he has been expecting a lot. He wants to strengthen the relationship between both the countries furthermore. And also importantly, he highlighted the importance of G4 there, the multilateralism on which both Prime Minister Modi and Lula da Silva have spoken about. Both, of course, have stressed on the relationship between Brazil and India and how they want to really increase the bilateral trade between both the countries in coming few years. And Lula da Silva, not once, in fact twice or thrice, he called Prime Minister Modi his friend, and the bonhomie, of course, was very much visible. Remember that he's been in India for the AI summit, and during this joint statement he also praised the Indian efforts and, of course, the entire event of the Artificial Intelligence Impact Summit 2026 in India. And, of course, the joint statement was focused on defense and security, climate change, and also, of course, multilateralism. And both the nations should come together as far as terrorism is concerned. CNN News 18, Siddhant Mishra is joining us on this story. Siddhant, we just heard a joint statement from both Prime Minister Modi and President of Brazil. What are the major takeaways that you can share with us about this joint statement?
Well, that's right. So the press statement just got concluded. In fact, Prime Minister Modi and President Lula held talk at the Hyderabad House. Arun, as we were discussing before, this relationship is very, very significant. Both countries also enjoy an excellent cooperation in plurilateral fora such as BRICS, IPSA, G20, and G4. And this visit could also be seen as a standalone visit, but ahead of a crucial BRICS summit, which India will be hosting later this year. In fact, President Lula also assured India of full cooperation. And as I said, that President Lula is a trusted friend of India and the Prime Minister Modi. So this particular visit is very, very significant, and this is the reason that he traveled to participate in the AI Action Summit. He was one of the keynote speakers on the first day of the summit, and today is the day for his state visit. In the morning, ceremonial welcome was extended to President Lula at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Then he held talks with Prime Minister Modi, and in fact, the camaraderie between the two leaders, perhaps the comfort level between the two leaders, could be seen in the cameras. Perhaps both leaders at Hyderabad House held each other's hands and walked till to the cameras. So it shows the comfort and the equation, the personal bonhomie between Prime Minister Modi and President Lula, perhaps, which is taking this relationship forward. There is a lot of commonality also between India and Brazil. Both countries aspire to become developed nations in future. They have same aspirations, same challenges, and there is also a lot to learn from each other, Arun. In terms of like how Brazil has implemented biofuel and ethanol successfully. That was an experiment which was done by Brazil and perhaps is successful, and now world is adapting the same model. Perhaps India is also on the same path.
Yes.
So it is just one example. The recent announcement of the joint manufacturing of the Embraer aircraft in India. Perhaps Brazil has extended cooperation and agreed for Embraer company of Brazil has agreed for the joint manufacturing in India. So both countries and then pharmaceuticals. Brazil wants Indian pharmaceutical companies to be setting up their manufacturing units in Brazil, generic medicines, etc. Because there where India is the leader when it comes to medicine and pharmaceutical. So this relationship is about learning from each other, about walking on the same path, shaping the future for the global South, and also to stand with each other shoulder to shoulder. Perhaps President Lula just mentioned that how
absolutely
both countries have similar views when it comes to the reforms at the United Nations. In fact, the G4 grouping has also been formed, including other countries where United Nations reforms, etc. Now will be discussed.
That's
so
right.
A lot of
That's right.
new elements have been added to this relationship.
As we all know, Siddhant, the bilateral trade between both the countries has been on high, and both of them have spoken about increasing it more. And in fact, every sector area has been covered in this joint statement. Thank you so much, Siddhant, for putting this story into perspective and joining us live.